The swamp is a treacherous place.
Camus digital ID. What could possibly go wrong? Just days after Keir Starmer praised India's Aadhaar rollout as a model, reports emerge of cyber thieves stealing the entire database. 815 million people's names, addresses, IDs, and bank details, selling it for $80,000 each. One place for everything: passport, NHS records, criminal history, finances, travel. How secure can that be? Data breaches happen daily. This is a massive wake-up call. So this is obviously pertaining to the UK and not the US. 2-minute 26 clip inside, shocking details. And from this point on, I'm going to move into what's going on in the UK, man. Like the UK, you think things are bad here, man. It's way worse in the UK. Let's take a look at this.
Digital ID. What could possibly go wrong? So do you remember about a week or so ago, maybe 10 days ago, Keir Starmer was out in India meeting Modi, the Indian president or prime minister, and a load of their top officials, and extolling the benefits of digital ID and saying what a fabulous rollout they'd had in India, which has their nationwide digital ID system called Aadhaar or Aadhaar, depending how you pronounce it. Well, listen to how well it's going. Thieves or crypto thieves or digital thieves or cyber thieves or whatever you want to call them, cyber criminals, are currently claiming that they have stolen the entire database, 815 million people's details, names, addresses, identity confirmations, bank details, etc., etc., etc. They've cracked the code.
No
and they've
surprise.
got the entire database, and they're currently selling the entire database for $80,000 at a time. Now, whether that's been verified or not, I don't know, but that story is doing the round.
Okay, so they're selling all 815 million names and details for 80,000. At first, I was like, wait a minute, they're selling $80,000 what, per person? That doesn't make any sense. But okay, so the entire database, because if you compress it all down into simple text, it's probably not as enormous of a database as you might think.
So just how secure is it going to be? Just how well is it going to work? As I've said this so many times, when every single piece of information about your life, your passport and your driving license and your NHS records and your criminal record and your bank details and every transaction of...
Well, and of course they're going to be hiring Indians who live in India to help maintain the database because it's cheaper labor. And plus the elected officials in the UK, they don't want to come across as a racist or anything.
Everything that you buy, and your gas bill and your electricity bill and your travel records and your flight records and your car tax and your council tax and anything you've ever done criminally, any arrest record, absolutely everything, any hospital appointments, anything about you at all is all held in one place. How safe and how secure is that going to be? Do you trust the people running these systems? Do you trust them
laughable.
to keep your data secure? We get data breaches, data thefts every single day, and sometimes we get really, really big ones. There's been lots just in the last year in this country alone. So how well is it going to work when every single facet of your life is held in one place? It's just happened in India. Go and look it up. And the ironic thing is that Starmer was just out there holding them up as an example of how well the system could work.
Yeah, okay.
We believe you.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be real. I think probably virtually every American, their social security number is already on the dark web somewhere. It's somewhere, as well as our names, our addresses. I mean, pretty much everything has been hacked in some way, shape, or form at this point. I mean, whether if it's like Target or Best Buy, Bank of America, I'm sure everybody's been breached at this point. Maybe not literally everybody, but I'm sure enough companies have been breached at this point to where all of us have at least something identifiable that's sitting on the dark web somewhere. All right, and we got this one from Richard Kemp V. PM and other ministers say getting this Egyptian into Britain has been a top priority. Bad enough when jihadist's true intent is not identified, but his is blatant. He wants to kill Jews and has called the British dogs and monkeys. He should be deported and citizenship canceled. Do you really think they're going to do that? I somehow doubt it. So here's a few of his posts. Allah Abd El Fattah. I don't know. That sounds vaguely familiar. I'm not on the up and up, which with regard to UK affairs. I mean, I know a little bit, but not that much. So anyway, it says, "Dear Zionists, please don't ever talk to me. I'm a violent person who advocated the killing of all Zionists, including civilians, so fuck off." And that was on November 3rd of 2010. It was a while ago, but it still happened. Whatever you post on the internet, it is forever. But anyway, the point of these posts is that this dude said some pretty hateful shit. Yes, I consider killing any colonialists and especially Zionists heroic. We need to kill more of them. But yet, he hasn't been arrested for quote-unquote hate speech. But a lot of other people in Great Britain, they've been arrested for far less than that with regard to posts that they're making on the internet. And so this one, I'm going to have to skip the video. The last time I played Jimmy Kimmel, my video got struck. Well, it didn't get it struck specifically. Well, YouTube wouldn't let me upload my video without cutting out that segment, but I'll at least read the text here. Jimmy Kimmel told a UK audience that free speech in the United States is under siege under President Trump, a claim that contrasts sharply with Britain's own record. Last year, UK authorities reportedly arrested some 12,000 people for online posts deemed offensive or grossly offensive, averaging nearly 30 a day. 30 a day. So anyway, I'll repost this, and there's a direct link to my X account in the description below, or you can go to OSINT613, and they posted that on December 26th, 11:23 a.m. And make Britain free again. If your bathtub was overflowing, you wouldn't immediately reach for the mop. You'd first turn off the tap, because that's what we need to do with illegal immigration. Britain is broken. The Church of England has completely fallen. Released on the official Church of England Instagram page, the main character in the Christmas story is allegedly not Jesus, but Mary. The whole leadership of the church must be fired. Let's take a look at this.
If you ask me, who do I think is the main character in the Christmas story? Let's face it, I'm probably not going to say Father Christmas. But I'm also not going to say Jesus, because I think the main character in the Christmas story is Mary.
Yeah,
I think
of course you do.
sometimes we can fall into a bit of a trap where we talk about Mary as if she's like this pawn in a really big game. But I think it's really important to remember she had the chance to say no. She wasn't forced to carry the Christ child. She didn't have to. But when she was told about
Brain
it,
dead.
she said, yes, behold the handmaiden of the Lord. So I think it's really important this Christmas time we remember to be a bit more like Mary.
Yeah, whatever. Be a bit more like Mary. In other words, never have an abortion, ever. Every time that you get pregnant, carry your child to term. So I think I left a comment with regard to this. I think I left, yeah, here it is. I do not permit a woman to teach or to assume authority over a man. And that's from Timothy, or 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. And I think somebody else probably also referenced that, but maybe not. Yeah, with women, clergy. I think there's something to be said about that, especially in the orthodoxy. Anyway, Britain is broken. Let's play a game of Spot the White Person. This was filmed in Bradford today. So I did watch this earlier today. Most videos that I play on this channel, I don't watch it beforehand. I just want to react as it goes. But I think I did spot the white person. Let me see if I can spot him again. Or maybe you can. Right there. Maybe. I think that's the white person. I can tell because she's got blue hair. She just darted through there real quick now, didn't she? What is this, like some Black Friday shenanigans? Children? Yeah, I don't know if they count or not. That girl did not look non-British. All right, anyway, we get the idea. We'll go and move on to the next thing. Norman Brennan, an utter scumbag that has been imported into Britain, and 2 Jewish gentlemen who wouldn't hurt a fly, beaten and seriously injured. One thing I miss about my warrant card, it gave me the power to protect society and robustly. This asshole makes me effing sick to see. Well, this situation makes me effing sick to see. I'm also pointing to this asshole. This guy right here. This guy equals asshole. And you'll see why. And do you think anything's going to be done about this? Probably not. Nope, probably not. Just unbelievable. Fucker's just walking down the sidewalk, decides to beat up these people. Presumably just because they're Jewish. And he runs after the other guy. Two elderly men can probably hardly defend themselves. Fucking scumbag. So yeah, so that happened. And Chaya's clan, Britain is finished. The rest of Europe will follow. How could they have even allowed it to happen? Jihad is part of Islam. We are not afraid of the UK government. I mean, this is what your government's importing into your country, and they have been for what, well over a decade, by the masses, by the hundreds of thousands. And what is it that they've said? These Islamists that are in the UK, that we don't have to defeat you conventionally. We just have to outbreed you.
Part of our
That's
religion.
what they say.
It's a concept in our religion, so I'm not going to be apologetic.
Jihad for the sake of Allah. You accept Islam, you pay jizya, it's war.
The solution, very simple. Jihad fi sabilillah. We don't fear anyone but Allah. We don't fear the United Nations, British government. We don't give a damn. We only fear Allah. Jihad fi sabilillah.
And the disbelievers that may surround that community, the Quran has legislated something known as al-jihad, which we would refer to more specifically al-jihad al-qitali, the armed struggle or armed warfare against those elements.
What do you think the future is?
The armed struggle. So who do you think in the UK are going to be more likely to end up getting access to firearms? Do you think it's going to be the jihadis, or do you think it's going to be the everyday British citizen?
For jihad. Because
well, I just said that the Prophet ﷺ, I believe he said in the hadith that al-jihad madin ila yawm al-qiyamah, it's continuous until the day of judgment.
Islam is seeking to
This all falls under freedom of speech in the UK now, doesn't it?
And the Ministry of Defense is carrying out the jihad activities. This is natural, and this should be accepted as it is accepted in any other law.
Okay, well, that's happening in the UK. All right, let's move on to the next thing. And what have we here? Y'all see Ben Yakar. Muslims are crying Islamophobia after Jess Gill, the director of the Women's Safety Initiative, attributed the surge in British R cases to unchecked immigration, lack of proper vetting, and differing values. In today's Britain, facts are labeled hate speech, and truth is treated as a crime. It is
extremely shameful, but unfortunately I can't say that it is shocking. I mean, we've had case after case after case of women being sexually harassed, of being abused, of being raped, of being murdered, and time again, it is because of mass immigration. It's the inevitable consequence of importing millions of men from countries with high rates of female genital
UK now has the highest R figures in Europe.
Mutilation, forced marriages, child marriages. These are countries which fundamentally do not respect women. And when you allow men coming over to the UK from these countries without any vetting on their values, this is the inevitable consequence.
Well, stop carrying your Free Palestine signs, which I doubt this lady's doing.
Almost every single week.
But too many UK women
every single week, I dare say.
From the river to the
being
sea.
Sexually assaulted and raped, and who often than not, the perpetrator, is not a British person.
Now, of course, it's important to point out that not everybody who comes to this country is a sex offender. Nobody is saying that. But what we can say with confidence from the data we're able to get our hands on is that there seems to be more of a propensity per capita for foreign nationals to commit sex crimes. Let's get a graphic on screen now that was done for us by the Centre for Migration Control. Rob Bates did this. Let's get that on our screen, and it shows there are 78 nationalities
Afghanistan,
in
number
Britain
one,
where per head they are more likely to commit sex crimes than the indigenous population. You can see right at the bottom there, tiny bar, the white bar is the United Kingdom. British national residents at the top, Romanians, Polish, Indians. And the facts are the facts. The facts are racist, Jess. What does that tell you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
tells me they're probably not going to assimilate anytime soon.
Hasn't readily provided these statistics. It's taken Rob Bates from the Centre for Migration Control working super hard to get these statistics. The government, the authorities have tried to cover this up for so long.
What's happening to them? Are they getting 10 years, 20, 30 years in prison?
All these case studies where, I've had women from the Women's Safety Initiative. I've had so many testimonies of women going to the police and being turned away because of accusations of racism, or feeling that they won't be even listened to begin with because of accusations of racism. So dare I say, I imagine the number
Yeah,
is
just keep
actually
R-wording
quite
all
a
of our
bit
women
higher
because
of
we
this
don't want to be
worry.
racist.
I mean, we recently did a poll
Talk
that
about
said
clown
that
world.
almost half of women in this country believe that their area is becoming more unsafe because of mass immigration. This is a decline. This
Then
is
why
a
do they keep
regress,
voting for
and I
these
don't
people who
like
keep
the
allowing it
direction
then?
this country is going in terms of women's safety.
Okay, Jess Gill, the director of the Women's Safety Initiative. Thank you for joining us.
Psychotic, man. Why they keep voting for these officials that keep allowing this to happen, I just don't get it. I don't know. Chaya's clan, again, the reality of today's Britain. It doesn't have to be like this. And let's give this a go.
So another teenage girl gone, 19 years old, dead in the street. Her name was Lily Whitehouse. She was found just before 10 o'clock at night in Oldbury, West Midlands, lying in the road, serious injuries. Paramedics tried, but she didn't make it. A 41-year-old man named Mohammed Azim has been charged with her murder. He's behind bars waiting for his next hearing in December. 19 years old, her life just starting, and here's the part that will make your stomach turn. It happened only 7 miles from where 34-year-old Katie Fox was stabbed to death in the neck by 21-year-old Dajacian Raphael. 2 women, 2 families within days of each other destroyed. 2 headlines that vanished in a day. These stories should stop the country in its tracks.
Headlines vanished in a day,
Barely
huh?
made the news. No protests, no candlelit vigils, no national
of course
outrage, just silence. That's the problem.
Because
We've
we don't
become
want to
so
appear
used to tragedy
racist.
that we barely blink when it happens. 2 innocent women gone, and most people just scroll past like it's background noise. If that's where this country's at, numb, detached, desensitized,
Yeah,
then
it
something's
is where it
gone
is.
badly wrong. Because this isn't just about Lily or Katie. It's about all of us, about what kind of country we're becoming. We need leadership that's not afraid to act, not scared of upsetting the professional offence takers on the
good luck
left.
with that.
Someone willing to make hard decisions to keep people safe. Because if we don't get that soon, these stories won't shock anyone at all. They'll just become the new normal. And that should terrify every single one of us. Have your say in the comments and follow for more news, views, and uncomfortable truths.
All right. And moving on to the next one, Andy Saxon, Broken Britain. Where are the women and children? Did you know on any given night, tens of thousands of families and individuals are experiencing the worst forms of homelessness across Great Britain? This includes more than 242,000 households in England alone. As of mid-2025, June through August figures, around 32,000 asylum seekers were housed in approximately 210 to 220 hotels across the UK that we know of. Our tax-paying money should be looking after families here in the UK first, not unknown illegal immigrant cowardly men who leave their women and children behind.
What?
Well, they don't even want to show their faces. Fucking coward.
People want to see this. People want to see this.
People want to see this.
What's the matter with you?
You should shove it up your ass. Sit and spin, bitch.
Walking up for the food. Some salad, bread, peas.
All men. All military-aged men. A lot of the problem that we have here in America. A lot of those immigrants, military-aged men.
Security's here, man. Yeah? Huh? What's the matter with you?
Wait, and that's
Where
a
you
cop
from?
right there, too?
What?
Yeah, a security officer.
You go
Good
get
grief.
a job. Yeah? We haven't got jobs.
All right. Rolling on to the next one. And another concerned citizen. Meanwhile, in the UK, a man has been sentenced for 2 years for this comment on Facebook. There could be no doubt that you were inciting violence once Great Britain is cooked. And
a man
see
has
what
been
this is all
sentenced
about.
to 2 years in prison for this comment on Facebook.
You wrote, because they're over here, given life of Riley off the tax us hard-working people earn when it could be put to better use. Come over here with no work visa, no trade to their name, and then there's more people being put out homeless each year.
Yeah,
They
probably
get
truth.
top band priority on housing. You went on to say that you did not want your money going to immigrants who, quote, are kids and get priority, end quote. Although you said that...
That would have been a perfect time for him to say, I didn't say grape, I said which I can't say on YouTube, of
you
course.
had no intention of carrying out any act of violence, there can be no doubt that you were inciting others to do so.
There can be no doubt.
Wow. Like, you're not allowed to say that because you might wake other people up from their comas, from their societal, brain-rotted, matrix-dwelling comas. They don't want everybody to wake up and realize. Talk about V for Vendetta vibes,
That
man.
you were inciting violence for literally just saying objectively true statements.
The truth. Wow, man. And sadly, and furiously, they could try to appeal that 2-year conviction by saying, dude, I just simply I spit facts. It was 100% the truth. It was absolutely the truth. And even the appeals court would probably say, nope, no, we're gonna give you 4 years. We're gonna double your sentence because how dare you speak up against the machine on behalf of the truth. And we got one more. Meanwhile, in the UK, there's no law against covering your face. This man didn't want to be picked up by AI facial recognition, so he covered his face in public. The police said this is disorderly behavior. Britain in 2025 is quickly turning into a police state. Well, why don't you just tell me you got COVID? Yeah, I got COVID, so 6 feet, stay away, because COVID is still going around. I mean, especially the mainstream media types, the propagandists, they're not talking about COVID that much these days, but COVID's very much still going around, even though it's not nearly as prevalent as it was, of course.
Where there's a facial recognition van, you've covered your whole face up.
First time he got the flu.
This man didn't want to be caught by the
I got
police
strep
cameras,
throat.
so he covered his face. Police stopped him. They photographed him anyway.
There's no law. There's no law against
There you
covering
go.
your face. Yeah, okay, well there you go. You let him go then.
Well, maybe
We
it's
see your face?
Maybe it's
Let him
because
go.
I don't consent to being on there.
Oh, right. Okay, why's that?
Because I think it's a bit of a government overreach.
Oh, right, okay.
All right, well, we don't
Take your
care.
details down, is that all right?
Don't cover my face, I cover my face. Don't push me over when I'm walking down the street.
The police said this was disorderly behaviour, so they gave him a fine.
I've got a now £90
Wow.
fine. There you go.
Wow.
Look at that.
You let them know that he's got a right to cover his face and he can walk away.
The thing is, we live in a country which is free. We don't have to carry ID.
You're
we don't live in a
supposed
state
to be
where the
free.
police have the right
You ain't
to
free,
see your
dude.
ID willy-nilly. This takes away my freedom.
Now, look, going back to the COVID era, I mean, I don't know if they would issue you a fine, at least not in the state that I live in. If you went into an establishment without wearing a mask, they would make you leave, or they would tell you to leave and they wouldn't serve you. So it is kind of the opposite in that case. But anyway, so Rob Schneider, Britain is lost. It was conquered not by the sword, not by Hitler's bombs. It was conquered by woke tolerance. And he's pointing out defiant L's from December the 26th. British MP Iqbal Mohammed argues in Parliament that banning cousin and forced marriage is not right because it's part of people's culture. Can you believe this is even being discussed in 2025 in the West? Well, I mean, not too surprised. Isn't the British monarchy, like throughout the history of the British monarchy, didn't they primarily marry their first cousins? Wasn't that a very common thing that happened in British royalty? At least I seem to remember something like that along my schooling. I think I picked that up somewhere. So maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe Prince Albert wasn't Queen Victoria's first cousin.
That needs greater awareness on. Virginity testing, forced marriages, and the freedom of women must be forced marriage must be prevented, and the freedom of women must be protected at all times. However, the way to redress this is not to empower the state to ban adults from marrying each other, not least because I don't think it would be effective or enforceable. Instead, the matter needs to be approached as a health awareness issue and a cultural issue where women are being forced against their will to undergo marriage. In doing so, it is important to recognise for many people this is a highly sensitive issue, and in discussing it, we should try to step into the shoes of those who perhaps are not from the same culture as ours, to better understand
they can go back to the country
why
from
the
where they
practice
came.
continues to be so widespread. An estimated 35 to 50% of all sub-Saharan African populations either prefer or accept cousin marriages, and it is extremely common in the Middle East and in South Asia. The reason the practice is so common is that ordinary people see family intermarriage overall as something that is very positive, something that helps build family bonds.
Yeah, it just
and helps
skyrockets
put
IQs now,
families
doesn't it?
on a more secure financial foothold. However, as is well
Definitely going to
documented,
benefit the
it
first
is
world.
not
Everybody marrying their
without
cousins.
Health risks for the children.
That's not going to roll us back
of
to the
those
Stone Age at all.
relationships, some of whom will be born out of wedlock. Instead of stigmatizing those who are in cousin marriages or those inclined to be, a much more positive approach would be to facilitate advanced genetic test screening for prospective married couples, as is the case in all Arab countries in the Persian Gulf, and more generally to run health education programs targeting those communities where the practice is most common. I would therefore urge the House to vote against this motion and to find a more positive approach to addressing the issues that are caused by
do tell.
first-cousin
What's the
marriages,
positive approach?
including the health risks and the consequences of modern conflicts and displacement of population around the world. Thank you.
All right, whatever. Okay, anyway, moving on. Let's go back, head on to the next. I think I'm getting fairly close to the end. The British Patriot. Wow, a white man was arrested on arrival at a London airport for online comments. A brown man was allowed to enter Britain without question. One made remarks about trans people. The other openly called for the murder of white people. Same country, different rules. And there's that Fatah asshole again. Comedian Graham Linehan was arrested by armed officers at a London airport months after posting online comments about transgender people. Reason for jokingly making comments about trans people. Alaa Abd El Fattah, a British Egyptian activist, was arrested in Egypt in 2021. He was previously described Zionism as a crime against humanity and made statements endorsing violence against white men. The British government has repeatedly lobbied Egypt for his release and return to the UK. How do you like that? Wide Awake Media at the BBC, the jokes write themselves. In an attempt to prove the new arrivals are integrating well into Britain, a BBC reporter asked, "What does being British mean to you?" The new arrival, "I don't understand English." Of course.
We tried asking people here what it means to be British. What does being British mean to you?
I don't understand English.
That was hilarious, man. You couldn't see shit. Couldn't even see her freaking eyes. All right, Tommy Robinson. Boxing Day in modern London. Allah is coming for you, screamed at people buying coffee. Round them all up into port. Literally nobody in Britain would miss them. No. Holy shit, that's loud. Hold on. Good Lord, my apologies.
Every time you buy a coffee, you are funding a bullet that is killing a Palestinian kid. If you are a Muslim buying Starbucks, shame on you, and Allah is coming for you. I'm not scared of you, sir. I'm not scared of you.
Oh, so basically, if we catch you buying coffee at Starbucks, you're going to get killed.
Vote for IDF. Come on.
All right, whatever, dude. Starbucks is too damn expensive anyway. I thought they didn't drink coffee in UK. I thought they only drank that wussy tea. All right. Anyway, so Zizwe Banzi, Tommy Robinson on Islamophobia. Notice how aggressive they are toward him and try to cut him off. Immediately, he started reading the Quran. In case you are wondering how Britain became the shithole they are today.
If you're saying that the problem is with Islam, are you accepting that you're Islamophobic?
Because there are 100 verses in this...
Yes or no?
Okay.
Are you Islamophobic?
There's no such word as Islamophobia. Phobia is an irrational fear.
Yeah,
it's
y'all
not
made
irrational
it
to
up.
fear these things.
Y'all made it
if
up.
I hold this book up and say, there will never be peace on this earth so long as we have this book, it's a violent and cursed book. That's Can I tell you who said that? Can I tell you who said that? Sir William Gladstone
Right, you
said
wouldn't
that.
do that with...
Sir William
Would
Gladstone
you do that with
said
the
that.
Bible? Show some respect.
Show some respect.
Show some respect.
Have you read this book?
Well, where in the Bible does it say to kill these people and kill those people? As far as I know, and maybe I'm wrong, I haven't read the Bible word for word. I mean, maybe there's some mention in there somewhere. Maybe in the Old Testament, it might be buried in there somewhere that maybe there's some advocating for killing certain groups of people, but I somehow doubt it.
Have you read this book?
There are over a billion people.
There are 100 verses in this book that incite violence and murder against us.
Show some damn respect for people's religious beliefs, right?
I should show some respect for a book that incites murder against me.
Put it down.
And calls me an animal. No, I won't put it down.
Show
William
some
Gladstone held this
respect.
book
They
above
want to
his head
kill us.
in Parliament, and he said there will never
Show
be
them
peace
the
on this earth so long as
respect
we have
that
this
they
book.
deserve.
It's a violent and cursed book. Was Sir William Gladstone, who
You don't
statues
convert,
across
you'll
our capital
die.
city,
Show them
was he a bigot
respect.
or an Islamophobe?
Pierce Morgan.
Sounding like a complete
Winston
lunatic.
Churchill. No, I'm quoting previous some of the best
It's
leaders
actually
in this
you who
country.
sounds like a lunatic,
bigoted
Piers.
lunatic.
No, I'm not.
Somebody that basically,
Winston Churchill
you are an
said- Winston Churchill-
Islamophobe.
Piers
who
Morgan, you
hates
sound
Islam.
ignorant.
You basically think all
I know-
Muslims are to blame.
No,
We've seen you on video
No,
saying it. And
I
what
haven't.
you're doing now is deliberately inflammatory. It is deliberately poisonous.
How's this
And you
inflammatory?
are having
I'm
the
giving you
complete
facts.
opposite effect to the one that you
I'm
say you
quoting
have.
William Gladstone.
You are stirring
I'm
up
quoting-
hatred. You
stirring
are
up hatred.
abusing people's religion. You're abusing their faith. And you're
Dude, what you need to be asking Pierce is there in this book, are there any references to killing any human beings of any kind or any advocating of doing
being a
so?
complete disgrace.
What do you know about the Prophet Muhammad? We've established nothing. You are
I
ignorant
know
of the
that you're
position.
deliberately insulting
What do you know
people
about the Prophet?
who
How
have-
am I insulting people?
who have deeply held religious beliefs.
And if they're in
you flounce
So?
the Quran around in your
This
hand.
book is
So
a
does
reason-
most of Great Britain.
This book is
an outrage.
At least
this book
once
is
upon
the
a time they
reason
did.
we're in such a mess.
No.
That's a reality.
No, we're in this mess because people take Islam, they are terrorists, and they abuse the nature of Islam
And you know
the
that
wording of Islam,
You know
and
that
they perpetrate evil, and
Shit, I'm muted. Don't they reference the Quran all the time, though?
it is completely wrong.
And you know
For
that
you
how?
to try and claim that the
And you know
vast
that how?
majority of Muslims who are decent law-abiding
Yeah, they're not going to
people,
let him read it.
to
They're going to
try
cut to commercial,
abuse
probably.
and mock their faith and their holy book is an outrage.
They're holy, but when you talk, okay, so
Tommy Robinson, I'm
when the
gonna- I'm
sacred
gonna
months have
stop you
passed,
there
slay the
because
non-Muslims wherever
we
you
are
find them and
going-
take them captive and
we
besiege them
are
and prepare for
going
them in ambush.
to-
Who's slaying who?
Oh.
I'm
We
not
are
slaying
going
hatred.
to
Uh-oh.
This calls for my death.
Yeah, of course they're going to cut to commercial. Yeah, they don't want the truth to be spoken. Britain is broken again. Rupert Lowe calls for the deportation of any foreigner supporting Palestine on our streets. Any foreigners causing chaos and harm on our streets in the name of Palestine should be deported. Rupert is correct. Again, no foreigners should be causing chaos on our streets. No, the only advocating they should be doing is advocating for Britain, not for any other country, but Britain, because that's where they are. So let's see what this is all about. Right here, let me see if I can. Yeah, here we go. So much for shoe shopping. I just want to shop till I drop. What the hell's going on here? Oh man, Britain is cooked, man. It is cooked, deep fried, and broiled. Britain is broken. 12-year-old Jewish boy visited by counter-terror police. A 12-year-old Jewish boy is under investigation by counter-terrorism. Please, after saying he wanted to see Hamas wiped out. The UK is a complete joke. Literal terrorists are protected over children. That they
Jewish
are.
boy is under investigation by counter-terrorism officers after he said that he wanted Hamas to be wiped out.
Yeah,
GB News can reveal
they
this
should
story
be.
because the boy's family, who have requested anonymity, of course, have been interviewed by counter-terrorism police and local police
Can't make this
officers
shit up.
about a fear of radicalisation after his comments about Hamas. It's an astonishing story, and to talk about it, I'm joined by GB News reporter Charles.
Yeah, because murdering 1,200 Jews on October 7th, like that doesn't call for the elimination of Hamas at all, especially not from Jewish people. So the British Patriot, the average Brit works 40 hours a week and still struggles to feed their children. Enter Britain illegally, get a brand new house, benefits, rent paid, free dental care, free health care. Meanwhile, taxpayers are required to remain quiet and pick up the bill. Britain is broken.
It has a side garage. Let's go inside. Let's go in. Coming in, heading into the lounge, and there is your lounge with a bay window. Good size lounge, and you have your understair cupboard here, and this takes us into what I would call a kitchen diner area. And you can see the lovely appliances. This is spacious kitchen diner, and you can see the garden there. Nice, lovely, big, beautiful garden.
what's left
and
of it.
here is your laundry room and toilet, guest toilet. That's your side. And now let's go upstairs. This is a 3-bedroom house. Okay, here is one of the rooms. This will be the smaller room. This is a new estate. And here is the second room. This is slightly bigger. And here is the family bathroom. And here is your storage with the boiler. And here is the master bedroom. Finally, this is big size. This is more like it. You see, and this should be the ensuite. Yes, it is. You can see. Hey.
All right, so that's not going to a British family. That's most likely going to be going to an immigrant family. Bernie, the unelected UN refugee chief, says that Britain should be able to accommodate and pay for at least 40,000 illegal migrants a year. This man pays no tax, earns more than 99% of the British public, and doesn't live here. Defund the unelected UN. Britain's 40,000 migrant crossings are nothing, suggests UN refugee chief. Filippo Grandi blames politicians for negative attitudes and creating a sense of chaos around arrivals. And let's see, Benin Wine. Oh, this is outstanding. The Belgian police used water cannons against Palestinian protesters. Don't you know, or don't you now think is the time to use water cannons against the Palestinian hate supporters in Britain as well? This is a perfect video to finish this off on. Take notes, British authorities. This is how you get shit done. Or you can do what they did in, France? I can't remember which country it was. One of those European countries, they were shooting, like, shit cannons. They were shooting, liquefied cow feces at them. All right, well, there you go.
If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Check out The Swamp, Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern, with segments dropping on the daily. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.